Hi, I'm Zara.
And I'm Faye.
And we would like you to
sit down with us
every Wednesday.
Before we get into this episode, just a bit of a disclaimer that within this episode, we will be talking about weight loss, fitness, and diet culture.
If that's something that triggers you or you've had issues with it in the past or currently, then we would advise you to click off this video and catch us.
Or just be aware that these are the topics that we are discussing today.
Yes. And if you do wish not to watch it today, we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're in May.
I know, right?
Happy 1st of May. Well, it's not the 1st of May as you're watching this, but happy May, everyone.
Happy May.
On this month and on more specifically today's episode, we're going to dive right in to body positivity.
Mm-hmm.
Love and hate relationship with that term.
Yeah.
And I think when you first mention body positivity, you kind of think about looking in the mirror and picking out what's right and what's wrong and how other people will see you. And being people with difference/disabilities that are visible, this really is a great conversation to be had for us and for anyone listening who might be also interested, is because it's just interesting to deep dive in and just seeing how that term is for us.
Yeah. So this actually hits home for me because growing up, body positivity was a big thing, not only with dancing, but with my hair falling out from the age of 10. And so this, at the end of this month, because we're in May, I still can't believe we're in May. I've said it twice already, but...
How is it May?
Yeah, at the end of this month, I am doing a half marathon for Little Lady Locks, a charity.
Whoa!
Yeah, a charity based in Manchester that supplies support, hair systems, hair alternative ways of working for them, for young girls and also young boys now, which is really cool. And I love this charity so bloody much. And so if anyone is going for like a summer hair chop, if your hair chop is going to be like 7 inches or more, please let us know and I will give you contact details on how to send it me, because any hair 7 inches or more can be used for a wig. And essentially, and it just goes a long way, honestly.
If you're not in a position to donate hair, please use the link to donate money. Any amount helps.
Pence, a pound,
literally
anything,
any amount helps.
because these wigs aren't cheap. Like I was in a very, very fortunate position growing up, which if you look back with the podcast with my mum for our Mother's Day special, I talk about how many girls my age, they couldn't afford the wigs that I was having, and at that time
they're not cheap.
They're
really not cheap.
And at that point the NHS coupon was a thing, but we are talking 10 years ago and that is not a thing now, I believe.
Such a shame.
So yeah, but this charity, oh my heart, I love this charity so much. Little Lady Locks.
If you see me on the last Sunday of May wheeling about town, I'm just following Faith.
Yeah,
so if you do see me, follow me as well, and we'll get to Faith.
And I will purposely not be wearing a wig, not be wearing eyebrows, not be wearing lashes, in my Little Lady Locks t-shirt.
Oh,
so yeah,
can't wait.
So yeah, but that is why body positivity hits so close to home for me.
Also, can I just say, I've just realised
we didn't mean to like colour coordinate right now.
But I also have to do it. Dance and move.
Right.
I also can do it.
Can you?
3, 2, 1. But yeah, so this wasn't planned.
No, this wasn't planned.
You're literally navy trousers,
bottoms, and beige.
I am literally
the opposite.
If that doesn't show that we're two pieces of the same brain,
yeah, I don't know what does.
Love it.
Literally.
Yeah, let's get into the app.
Yeah, but I'm guessing from the half marathon, what made me, because you can do a fundraiser for anything, like as a dancer. A dance-a-thon probably makes more sense for me.
A dance-a-thon?
Yeah, I've done that in the past.
Love the sound of that.
Oh, fun. So for 12 hours, we just danced. I did it at uni for the charity Mind, and it was so fun.
Anyone else thinking about Gilmore Girls right now? Do you watch have you watched Gilmore Girls?
Gilmore Girls.
That episode.
Yeah. They're like old, it's like in the 60s.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'd love to do that.
But I think in terms of running and half marathons, I think it became a trend to do half marathons and get into running as a form of charity, yes, but a form to lose weight. And I think to like feel better in yourself.
Mhm.
And I think there's a fine line between running because you love it, because don't get me wrong, I didn't love running before I started this,
Mhm.
but I wanted to love running because I did love running as like with high school. I like the long distance running, the 1,500 meters. That was my bread and butter. And so, yeah, but I think I definitely prefer running outside than in a gym. One, because of my body temperature regulation,
Mhm.
but also it's just more interesting. But I think the reason why people run has a bad rep to it. I think runners have got a bad rep to it. Similar to the high rocks, is people are doing it for a trend.
Yeah, and I think it all comes back to like the whole fitness industry. Like I see so many different videos on social media where people are like, "Oh my gosh, like fitness influencer, this doing that, they're doing that." And I'm sorry, what happened to letting people do what they want to do?
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's almost as when people are like, you should calorie count. No, you shouldn't. This is not what I'm saying. You shouldn't calorie count, but if you want to calorie count, do it. If you want to eat till your heart desires, do that as well.
Do it.
And I think it's become in a way where like the people who are working out and the people who are at the gym and not necessarily for weight loss. And I think that's one thing that people always assume, that you go to the gym to look a certain way.
Yeah.
And 90% of gym goers, or like the ones that I've spoken to, it's for the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Gym isn't just for looking aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's for like, don't get me wrong, for me personally, looking and feeling a certain way comes to it, because I'm not going to lie, I use 99% of my upper body to move around. So being mostly muscle or being more lean helps.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lie and say I don't go for that purpose. But yeah, like I just think the fitness industry gets a bad rep, and it really triggers me sometimes.
Mm-hmm. It's like, for me personally, I've overtrained in the past, like especially through uni. Like I remember through like my master's training, we'd do a full like 9 to 5 day of, we'd have ballet, contemporary, rehearsals, like choreography, intense training from 9 to 5. I'd then go to the gym and run a 5K on the treadmill. Like I was overtraining and not fueling my body so much, which is also why 2 years prior to that, I tore my hamstring because I wasn't fueling my body enough. The room was too cold, kicked my leg too high, and I tore my hamstring. And so that was, again, I was not fueling my body. I was overtraining myself, thinking I had to fit this certain type of a fitness person or dancer to fit an aesthetic.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note here is like too much of one thing is bad. Like if you were to be home 24/7, not see the light of day, not go for a walk, not go to the gym,
you won't feel good.
No. And yeah, that's the reality. But also, if you're at the gym 24/7, like you just said, you'd end up causing an accident.
Yeah.
And that also wouldn't be good. So balance is key.
Yeah, I think my key point, and saying at the moment, is everything in moderation.
100%.
It's like we're only on this planet once.
Literally.
So I'm going to enjoy it. And I always say, if I see a gluten-free cake, I'm going to eat the cake. Because
you do it.
Very rarely do I see like something gluten-free, not gonna lie. Like we were at Starbucks earlier today and there was a new gluten-free brownie, and I'm like, I'm gonna get it. Like, sorry, I know I've already had my lunch, but I'm gonna try that. I don't care.
I know what I'm gonna be waiting with at the end of that marathon lunch now. Like a big cake. Big gluten-free cake. Just like, I'm not going to say anything, I'm just going to be like,
congrats.
Here you go.
But no, I just think that in terms of the gym, like I've done the calorie counting thing. I've done
we've all been there. We've all counted how many little almonds we're going to have.
Yeah, but it's like, it's when I was measuring broccoli, I was like, what am I doing? Like, why am I measuring broccoli? So I think like there is a healthy way to do it and an unhealthy way to do it. And though, like, I have friends that have done bodybuilding competitions, so yeah, you have to calorie count because it's regimented. You're literally being judged on your body and your muscle and your vascularity. So that makes sense. And if you are wanting to lose weight, a lot of PTs will say just track your calories. Also, to be mindful of what you are eating and what your body needs, but not to over access.
And also, kind of, just to kind of come on that as well, it's not necessarily just to lose weight. So, for example, I've got a coach at the moment and I'm trying to build muscle in some areas. And even I have to calorie count to a certain extent, not necessarily to stay under a certain amount, not necessarily to eat less than I'm supposed to be, but more to see how much of something I'm eating.
True.
And if you know me personally, you know I'm not one to hold back if I want to eat something. And so I think it's important to know the different reasons of why people do something and not to judge.
100%. And I, like we said, I think people that post anything on about the gym, they get a bad rep. I hate that.
Definitely.
Like, you're going to the gym, like you're getting out, and it's most of the time, anyone that goes to the gym, it's for their mental health regardless. Even if you think it's not and it's for your body, if you weren't going, you'd feel like crap.
It's when they say
everyone
you never regret a workout.
Ever.
And 90% of that is because of your mental state, of how good the endorphins that it releases. Don't get me wrong, my workout could be completely different to yours, but we both get the same endorphins.
Yeah.
In
I think
ways.
I've only ever walked out of a gym session once not feeling good, but that was not because of the gym. That was because of things going on outside of the gym in my personal life. That's the only time I've walked out of a session going, oh my gosh, I feel horrific. Because you need space or you need time to process. But that was not because of the gym. It was because
of things outside of the
that
gym.
I needed to work through. So, but otherwise, every time I've been to the gym, unmotivated, motivated, forced to go, which my partner will say sometimes it has forced me to go. Yes, you're right. On
it's
this
good
occasion.
to have that push, though.
Yeah,
sometimes.
It's good to have a push, but at the same time, at the end of the day, you do walk out the gym feeling amazing.
Yes.
You do.
Or will.
Yeah, of course.
Excuse me, I can't believe you're sat next to me and you said what? Your life flashed before your eyes. And
this, babe.
No. Yeah, you wheel, you walk, you can do whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I just turn. I turn out the gym.
What?
I leap out the gym. I dance out.
Fly out.
Fly out,
Love that for you.
with my jetpack.
Okay, this is unraveling into a weird conversation.
Let's move on.
Talking about me wheeling out of the gym, one thing I am really passionate to shout about is how inaccessible the world, obviously, but more to do with this video, gyms are. Gyms are so, they are so inaccessible to the point that you wouldn't even believe. Number one, I've had situations at the gym where lifts have been out of order, but also out of order in the sense that it's been out of order for like 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, should be a fix.
Yeah.
Should be fixed.
And out of order in the sense that I've made the trip to the gym, then realised it's out of order. Not a courtesy email, not a courtesy call, nada. And also more of a, I was going to say more of a necessity, but a lift is a necessity. But equally necessary, changing rooms.
Yeah.
Changing rooms being out of order really grinds my gears. And number one, I've had a gym where the disabled toilet was separate, like completely separate area to the normal space, which is great. Love that for me. But also, it was just used as a storage room. And I'm like, hang on a minute. No. Like there was like loads of different stuff in there. I'm like, not sure you're supposed to be doing this.
No.
And the other thing as well is when there was a point where this happened and they just said they've got that I can go to, they were like, oh, but like the female toilets are open. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So it's like, because this makes me think of all the past gyms I've been to and what have been accessible. So I used to work in a gym a few years ago and like that was my first kind of job after uni. And looking back now, it was actually fairly accessible. It was all on one level. And I think we did have a few people there that would come in chairs And I think we had one guy that had a prosthetic leg, and he would always go on the rowing machine.
I love the rowing machine.
So yeah, but so I'm trying to think of the process that we went through. But in terms of the disabled toilets, it was either the shower was either always broke, they never got fixed, and again, it wasn't attached to the actual female's toilets. Like there wasn't a male or a female. It was just a disabled toilet, which I can say normal, and every day, everyone used that basically. Like it was everybody used it if they couldn't be bothered walking into the changing room. Everyone used it. And it's like, but the gym I go to now, it's not similar, but kind of similar. So the steps going up, and I think there's a lift there, but I've never seen it used the times that I've been there.
Yeah.
And the changing rooms, however, they both have a disabled toilet gender-wise.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
There. So I think every gym is slightly different because I've been to some gyms as well, and I'm like thinking about it. It steps up. The disability accessible toilet is at the other side of the gym, but there's no lift that I've seen to actually get up to the gym. So I'm like, actually, yeah, gyms have not taken that into accountability.
And I was speaking to someone else about this whose gym's in London, and she was saying how listen to this, there's steps to get into the disabled toilet.
The common sense hasn't sensed.
She was like, there's like a few steps to go to the disabled toilet.
What?
I genuinely have no words. Mind you, this place is a chain. It's a chain. It's a chain gym. And I was like, can't.
To be fair though, I think chain gyms sometimes are worse with this because they have like a set.
See, I've always been to a chain gym, and I've had problems at some point. Another problem that I've always had, which might not seem like an accessibility issue firsthand, is, for example, the layout of the gym. So, for example, I keep saying for example. So, for instance,
change it up.
Yeah. For instance, the weight corner, like the infamous all lads at the weight corner, at the weight section, whatever. When I tried to go to the weight section at a particular gym, I'm not going to name drop because I'm just not about that. At this particular gym, the machines are so cramped against this weight section, my wheelchair physically can't get in. And so you're basically saying, if you're in a wheelchair, that section isn't for you. Like, it's one point, because there's four, I'm not saying I want to go pick up 20s. I'm not doing that, weight-wise. But I was literally about to go there to pick up 4s. And I literally, had to snake myself in, and I actually hurt myself.
Did you?
Off one of the machines, because I was, trying to get in, and I'm not the biggest, my wheelchair isn't the biggest wheelchair ever. So if I can't get in, a lot of people can't. But yeah, so that annoyed me. Another thing that really annoys me, personally, is I don't understand, this is not necessary, but the mats are on a hanger so high. So freaking high.
They're all the same.
And so it's annoying because every time I go grab one, obviously I'm struggling. So immediately it's like, oh, helpless disabled person. Whereas if it was on a right level, I would have been able to do it. And sometimes, don't get me wrong, I have enough rage to just yank it. But another problem is, then I can't put it back on. Yeah. And you know how every sign at the gym is
put your equipment back.
And so every time I leave it there, it makes, it goes through me. Because I'm I'm not doing this by choice. And that really annoys me.
I get that.
And yeah, I'm going hot and all flustered.
Well, speaking of getting hot and flustered, when I'm in the gym, right, I just get stared at. That's how I feel. I get stared at. I might not do, but I feel I do. I think, especially if I go to a new gym, everyone's like, whoa, who's this new ball chick? I feel stared at to the point that I know. So there's times when I've been out in town just on a daily shop, or I've just been out enjoying my time with family, with my partner, outside of the gym in like normal clothes, right? People have literally come up to me and go, oh, do you go to XYZ gym?
Stop it.
And I'm like, part of me literally wants to go, well, is there another bald girl there? Because I'm sorry, clearly you can just recognise my head, notice that I'm a girl, and then comment. But I'm like,
that's mad.
who are you? What's your name? Where have you come from? I actually don't think I've actually met or spoke to you in my life before. I don't recognise you. And I'm like, love the type of like interaction and trying to be social, but do it in the gym. Actually talk to me face to face. Learn my name, not just the bald girl from the gym. No. Which I've had for years now.
Oh yeah, I've had I've had people come up to me and be like, "You are such an inspiration." Meanwhile, I'm like mid squat, trying not to die.
Not the time.
Not the time. And I just think, I was gonna say there's a time and place for that, but there isn't. Like, don't come up to me and call me an inspiration unless I'm doing a speech or I'm doing a TED talk.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not an inspiration just because I'm doing a squat.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Like, maybe I'm an inspiration if I'm doing a marathon. Maybe. But even then, everyone does marathons. I mean, not everyone, but like, even if, like, if people do marathons and it's not inspiration for them, then it shouldn't be for me.
I think it's more the point of like, people have such a closed, like, they've closed blinkers.
Oh, yeah.
So they don't see that there's other people with different abilities that still go to the gym. So I think it's that they say, oh my gosh, that's so inspirational, because it's shocked them so much that it's inspired them to probably keep going. And to probably think that their bad day is actually really not a bad day.
No.
You know, so
I'm thriving, babes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think going off, like, people not knowing and almost having blinkers on is the fact that I, as a person with mobility issues, can squat.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are really shocked about that. And don't get me wrong, I can't just like drop and give you 20. I can't do that. And my version of a squat is basically holding on to something and then squatting. But I do it. I do it my own version. Yeah. It's not like I've gone, oh, I can't do it, so I'm not even going to attempt. So a lot of the times you'll find people with disabilities adapt exercises for themselves, and it's not like we don't just say, oh, we can't do it, so I'm not going to do it. We are very adaptable.
Yeah.
Independent. Mm-hmm. Independent, 100%. Yes. So yeah, I think it's good to just know and not to assume.
Yeah. But yeah, adding on from feeling like I'm being stared at, because I'm very recognisable, whenever I'm in the gym and I'm trying something new, I feel like I can't fail. So I love trialing calisthenics at the moment. So my handstands on, I don't even know what it's called. I just grab some things.
You're asking the wrong person.
Yeah, but that, and then my pull-ups, anything like that, I love to try and give a go, because I could do pull-ups in the past. I want to get them back again, which, to be fair, my partner will vouch for me. I did like 1 or 2 the other week, and I was very impressed with myself.
I love that.
But yeah, I feel like I don't have room to fail in the gym because I'm always being watched.
See, I get that, yeah.
I think that's a me thing and a perception of myself because of how many eyes I feel like are on me.
It's the same with me. So, for example, the other day I was at the gym, and you know those bars where like people put weights on them? Again, something that's not accessible is how high the blooming bars are sometimes. But one day I just wheeled into the gym and the bar was like on a really low surface, and I was like, this is my time to shine. But wait. I felt like all eyes were on me. And don't get me wrong, I can bench press. Well, I used to be able to bench press like 30. And to me, that's pretty impressive. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to do this. And it has been a while since I've been bench pressing. So I went to lift it up, and then it kind of like
jolted,
yeah. And I was like, that's so embarrassing, because basically 99% of the eyes were on me. And I feel like if that was any other person, no one would probably have noticed. And I think, yeah, that was like, now it's scared me off even ever going near anything that's...
Yeah. So I think to put this back to body positivity, that's why I'd love to see more individual diversity and inclusivity within fitness media.
Yes.
So that's from like Gymshark. I know we spoke about that they've had a disabled mannequin in the past, like a wheelchair mannequin in the past. I want to see more of that.
Yeah.
I want to see more body positivity in terms of inclusivity going on within the fitness world.
And just like more sports.
Accessibility.
Yeah.
More sport access.
And like, more sports people taking into account disabilities and just, we just want more body positivity for everyone.
Yeah.
Not just
people of difference or with a disability, but to feel comfortable in a gym.
I think that's the key.
Yeah. Because I think a lot of people start their gym journeys not feeling comfortable in the gym. And that was me. I didn't step foot into a gym until I actually tore my hamstring.
I think that's sorry to put in, but like a lot of people feel like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's normal.
Very.
But also it's harder for us because, like you said, we're being watched.
Yeah. I mean, at the time, when I first started going to the gym, I think I still had my hair at the moment. I was wearing a headband and I was swimming. So I'd wear like a swimming cap. So basically my physio was to swim for my hamstring health and also like some hamstring exercises that I could do in my room basically. But then as COVID was about to happen, I was just getting into the gym and then COVID happened, so I started running and doing my physio at home. And then going back to the gym after COVID, I really didn't want to. But I knew I had to because of my training and my dance training. But even me, who I train every day, at that point, every day dancing in a studio, to step into a gym was the most daunting thing I could ever think of, and I did not want to do it. So going from someone who I was very fit, I was very athletic, not wanting to go to the gym, I can't even imagine how it feels for someone who feels self-conscious about themselves to then think they have to, they want to go to the gym.
Yeah.
I bet it's so daunting. And so I think that push and that movement to make gyms more, I guess, friendly and inviting. I think the gyms have a rep of you get the meatheads and the muscle crazy.
And I think this comes with having more awareness of disabilities within your trainings. Yeah. And I just think with more awareness within the industry and PTs and just people who work at the gym, it would go a long way for someone's experience with who has a different / disability. And one example of that is a place I used to go to. I am actually going to give them a shout out because I love them. Resculpt.
Ooh.
They're mainly in Manchester, but they've just opened. I say just, it's been a couple of months. In London, their first studios. It's basically like a Pilates on, like a hybrid Pilates on a reformer bed. And it's great. It's like more strengthening than regular Pilates, but it's a great time. And what I loved about their studio is, one, fully accessible throughout. And the other thing I loved is because as someone with a disability and with all these horrible experiences I've experienced in the past that we've just talked about, it was important for me to feel included.
Yeah.
And walking in straight away, everyone was lovely. But what really shocked me the most is my first class. Actually, no, not my first class. So my first class going in, the trainer pulled me aside and she was like, this is the bed, blah, blah, blah. And they do that with every person, not just because I was disabled. And then, but also she said, she ran through the routine with me and she said, this is what we do. And obviously she hadn't worked with me before. She was like, if there's any that you can't do, let me know. And she adapted it for me. And I thought, okay, she's doing that because it's the first episode, first session, blah, blah, blah. Clearly in the thingy mindset, the podcast mindset. And then going on from that, every single session, different different instructors, not just that one person, different instructors did the exact same thing.
Wow.
So every time I'd go in, about 5 minutes before, they'd run through the routine with me, and I would help them come up with something different, or they would already be thinking about something different.
Wow.
And I think that it might be like 5 minutes of their time or 2 minutes of their time. And obviously their time is valuable. So I'm not saying that doesn't mean anything, but it was such a short amount of time for them, but it meant so, so, so much to me. And I think that's what we're trying to show, that like the little things do really mean a lot. And I just love them. And I know we've kind of said many negative things about the industry, but I just wanted to give them a shout out because they're great. So if you are around Manchester or happen to be in London, just check them out. Resculpt Studios.
Cute.
Love them.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
That's really cool that they've actually just gone out of their way to, because
I was shocked. Shocked to my core.
Very good. That is a very good teacher characteristics of themselves.
100%.
Because what makes a good teacher is that everyone can be included in the class.
Yes.
So yeah, I really appreciate it.
And I truly, yes, there was moments where people were doing lunges and I was doing something with the straps, like doing an arm workout, but I felt truly included.
Yeah.
And I wasn't just sat there letting them do their thing and I was just on the sidelines, which what happened to me 99% of the time during PE in school.
Yeah.
But we will talk about our school experiences in future episodes.
Yes. But I think one tool that can be used massively within this industry is social media. And I think we're already seeing it used and we're already seeing body positivity, which I love to see, but we're also seeing like the toxic side of body positivity, which is almost like the health thing, the over analyzing things, the being excessive with everything. But I think social media can be used in a way to almost validate another community, which is the disability and people of difference community, which I said
100%.
before, like it'd be great if Gymshark, different brands would include these people, which one of my first shoots was Nike. And they included me within their Nike Well Collective brand, and I felt so a part of something big there.
Yeah.
Because they even thought about my poor head in the sun. They brought sun cream. They asked if I was too hot, too cold. Like it was a really lovely photo shoot. And so I wish that I just wish I saw more of that in social media, because social media has a rep to be fake, to be full of filters, and really show a false representation of what a gym goer life is like.
Yes. And I just, I agree.
Because I think social media as well, talking body positivity, you want to see this like filter, like almost this filtered life. You see everyone's highlighted reels on Instagram and TikTok specifically. You don't see the downfalls, the fails, you see the highlights. And the highlights, like I said, normally include a filter, normally include some sort of like perfect skin, big eyes, long lashes, perfect brows, perfect hair, like perfect body, summer body. And I just think that is very damaging for people starting their fitness journeys or just understanding how they want their body to be and look. I think it's very damaging. So I think it needs to start possibly there first, because it's such a big turning point for so many
100%
other aspects of life at the moment.
And talking about looking and being perfect through social media's eyes, Botox.
Yeah.
I think Botox is a way longer conversation to be had, and one that we will delve into in future episodes.
I think with Botox, I am a love and hate of it, because if you're open and honest that you have it, great. But if you're coming out saying this skincare routine has got rid of my wrinkles, no. Like, be honest, be authentic with your followers, please. I'm someone that I believe that maturing and growth and age is beautiful. Like, I don't want to get rid of my wrinkles, because it makes me then almost look at my mother and my grandmother and her mother after that say like wrinkles are ugly and wrinkles aren't nice, when actually like wrinkles show wisdom, it shows love, it shows experiences. Like I don't get where it's come from to want to get rid of these. I think definitely tabloids and social media, obviously.
Yes.
But I think that's always going to be my opinion, I guess, until like I'm very blessed right now. I don't have any wrinkles. 25, sometimes you get the odd bag if I've not slept, but I think in terms of wrinkles wise, if you're gonna promote a product because put a serum's got rid of your wrinkles when actually it's a Botox, and be honest with your followers. And I'm only saying that because I know people that I follow that have done that. So,
and I think it's also what the wrinkles represent.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, laugh lines are there because you're laughing. You're having a great time. Why would you want to get rid of that? Like, no.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to look like a statue? No. And we're all for do what you would like. And I'm also for that, and like looking and feeling your ass and all that jazz. But also, I think where I feel like we should draw the line is advertising that and just being like, I use Botox, come with me to get Botox, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
No.
I think what makes me quite sad and really think twice about it is looking at the individual of where they've got to think they need it.
Yeah.
And I only say this because I was once at a club. We'd had a few gins. Faith, she had a few gins. She's allowed. And
out on the sound.
Yeah, still got ID'd, of course.
Love that for you.
Love it. But I wore my wig this night out, which I actually loved, and I think I'll be doing more often because less people stop me, less drunk people want to know my life story, and I could just honestly just enjoy my time with the people that I'm with without actually hearing whispers and like talking about my head, which
not necessarily with you, but about
me, which I hear. I'm sorry, drunk people are rude. No offense if you're hearing this drunk, but drunk people are rude. So, like, I get every time I've been out, there's always been an instance with a drunk individual being rude to me or just overstepping and like asking very invasive questions that I've already said I don't want to answer. Anyway, but this one woman started talking to me and started talking about relationships. And I know we talk about a lot of relationships on this podcast, but I think it's a character building and where we are in our lives right now. 100%. But this woman, she told me she was 32. No word of a lie, I thought she was my age. She looked 25. She looked like mid-20s at age, but she basically telling me she went on a date with this guy, and the guy actually asked her how old she is, and basically said she looks older than 35.
Okay.
Even though she's 32, apparently she looked older than 35 because of her wrinkles. This guy actually said this to her, and then he kind of said, yeah, it gets to an age and you just need it, don't you? That's what the guy said to her, by the way. And so she was honestly debating getting Botox within the next week. She said she's had the consultation, like the first initial like talk of what she wants and how much she wants. She's had that conversation, and she just said she'll get back to them. And their next consultation would have been this next week. And I just remember literally I bought her a drink and I was like, look, I've had a drink, you've had a drink, but let's talk about this because this is not your reason.
No. Fair enough, do it for you.
Yeah.
But not because of other people's opinions.
No. And I think that's where the line gets blurred.
Yeah.
If you're doing it for yourself, by all means do it.
Go for it.
Like, do it. I don't wear wigs for myself, but I will not diss anyone that does wear wigs. Like, you.
This is why I always feel like it's wrong and annoying when people put it on social media, because that instantly tells me you're not doing it for you. It's all well and good, like we said, to advertise something like this is not, like saying a cream did it but not Botox. You can say you've had Botox, but you can say it in a non-advertising way. I think that's the truth behind it.
And if it genuinely is collagen, I want to see a true before and after photo.
Yes.
Like
show us evidence.
All these skincare brands coming out saying it's a collagen thing. Is it really, or is it a filter?
Are your models just full of filler?
Yeah, like that's another thing on social media. You don't know what's real and what's fake.
No.
Because everything is normally blurred, and that line is so hard to see. Even more so with AI, it's even harder to understand what's real and what's fake. So in terms of body positivity, just really focus on yourself and who you want to be personally, and reach out to those people that will big you up and that will help you on that journey, not put you down and sway you towards a decision that you already are 50-50 on.
And speaking of fakeness,
Yeah.
on today's educational myth, we've got an educational one for you.
I love that.
I don't think we've ever had an educational one
I think
before.
they're all educational because it's changing everyone's perceptions,
true.
but this one is definitely
actually educational. So, talk about Botox. The myth is that Botox is just for beauty and just for like your face and just like on a really, what's the word? Cosmetic.
Yeah.
That was the word. It's a very on a cosmetic level. Well, Botox is actually used medically a lot. For example, me personally, I use Botox in a medical way. Don't really want to go throughout the procedure and talk about the procedure because I personally won't feel comfortable doing that. So without going too much into it, it's basically used in a way on my organs to make it function how it's supposed to function.
Yeah.
Essentially. That was a really secretive way. But if you know, you know.
You know.
It's one of those. And yeah, like I said, I don't personally feel comfortable to talk about the ins and outs. I'm sure you'd understand. But yeah, just to say, Botox isn't always for cosmetic purposes. And there's been times where I've had Botox. I'd had to disclose it to certain people because of a certain situation and stuff like that. And they're I almost get sometimes a judgmental look. And it's a bit
yeah, I think that's another thing with the judgment on Botox. If you genuinely have gone out and got Botox, be proud of that. You've no shame at all.
No.
But if you've done it because off the back of a comment or off the back of an opinion or off the back of a social media trend, maybe double think that.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was our myth for today.
Yeah, educational one.
Always here to educate the girls and the gays and the guys.
And everyone here.
And everyone in between.
Everyone watching sit down with us. But I guess just to wrap up today's ep and also a bit of a look into next week's ep, we don't judge a book by its cover.
No.
And I think that is essential going forward throughout May and throughout the summer months coming up, because more skin will be on show, more people will be coming out their comfort zone to become more confident in themselves, and allow that. Don't be that negative nanny and...
Negative Nancy. Negative Nancy. I love that.
Well, don't be a negative nanny or negative Nancy.
If you're a nanny and your name is Nancy, then this is weird for you. But
yeah, let's be kind and let's just support people this summer through whether it's a gym situation, whether it's a physical difference they're going through,
whether you're in a bikini and you have a scar and you feel self-conscious, just think. You might be paving a way for someone who's covering up and they see you and they're like, hang on a minute, I look like her, I'm gonna get my body out.
You don't actually, this is a very good point, you don't know who you're naturally inspiring every day. You don't know who you're naturally inspiring every day.
You really don't.
It's great. So yeah.
And
just for a little bit of a dig, if you want to wear bikini, wear bikini. If you know, you know. This is from a few months ago now. But if you want to wear bikini, wear bikini.
If you want to wear a thong bikini, wear a thong bikini. If you want to wear a full-on bodysuit at the gym, at the beach, do it. If you want to cover up, cover up. If you don't want to cover up in a way that's not going to get you arrested, do it. Also, just to kind of wear off that, but kind of stay on the right tracks, I feel like oftentimes I've had it in situations where I've had bikini bottoms, and if you don't know me personally, then you won't know this, but I've got a massive scar on my back. And sometimes when I'm lying on my back, obviously because you want to tan everywhere, so I start lying on my back, the scar is visible, and I get up to grab a sip of water or whatever, and I notice everyone's been staring. And I can appreciate, to some people, that will literally make you want to cover up.
Yeah.
But don't do it. I'm sorry. Are you going to think when you're in your 80s being oh, I covered up that day because Joe on the next chair was staring at me. And no, you're never going to think of the names because you don't know the name.
No.
They're strangers. So
can I just say, this is Vicky Patterson. Is that her name? She came from Geordie Shore.
Mhm.
Vicky Patterson. She literally said, no one is going to be at your funeral. This is going to sound a bit morbid, but no one's going to be at your funeral going, gosh, you look great in a bikini.
Yeah.
Like, God, she looks like, I'm glad she wore a t-shirt.
Yeah.
No one is going to be saying that. They're going to be like, oh, remember that summer in Capri?
Yeah, those laughs we had.
Remember that trip to Venice. Remember
Yeah.
that road trip and the beach. Like, no one's going to care at the end of the day.
And I know we're a podcast about mainly for people with disabilities, that's differences, but that goes for everyone.
100%.
If you've got something you're insecure about for your body, do you know what? What's the word? Exposure therapy.
Yeah.
If anything, do what scares you. Trust me, you'd feel better, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, to be fair, that's what worked for me. One day, I was like, because I've got a scar on my front and my back. To be fair, I actually, controversial, but I actually love my scar on my front because I'm just like, it's just really cute. Really weird describing a scar as cute, but
it's part
I
of
think
you.
it's cute.
Yeah.
But the one on my back, oh gosh, I absolutely hate it. Like I can't even think about it too much because But whenever I'm like in a hot country, whenever I'm getting a bikini, I'm like, it's my back. Couldn't care less.
Yeah.
And even if it was on my front, again, couldn't care less because I'd rather, if it's 40 degrees outside, I'd rather be
comfortable
in a good temperature, not being hot because I might be being judged.
And can I just say, people will judge you anyway.
1000%.
So just go do it. Just go do it.
1000%.
Like the amount of times I get judged for like going out bald. I've had grown men roll their eyes thinking I'm crazy. We've had it all. So who cares? Everyone's going to judge you no matter what you do. So,
and as we always say,
you see it all the time with celebrities. They say they're too big, they lose weight, then they're too skinny. Everyone's always going to have an opinion on you. So just literally in the nicest way possible, sod them off.
Yeah.
And do what you want to do.
I was about to say, as we always say, do you. Yeah.
But I think that brings the pod to an end.
Before we start throwing hands.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching and thank you for listening.
Hope you come back for next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.